Hello guys. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you a super simple training strategy that a hiker can use to help prepare their legs for random and uneven steps on the trail. Now, as hikers, we know steps are not even on the trail. We come across all these weird different things, small ones, high ones, awkward ones, whatever it may be. And it can be a real pain. And there is value in your preparation to help prepare for that and get your legs ready for these uneven and variations and different situations. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. Now, hikers, as in general, for their training, step-ups are pretty common because we know that's a really specific exercise. We know that's a really simple exercise. We know that's very accessible, and all hikers have probably done a step-up or two in their time. And typically, when it comes to doing step-ups, most hikers will probably do one height, I should say, in their training. They'll find something that's convenient for them. Might be a step at home, might be a counter, not a counter, might be a bench, might be a step-up box in the gym or whatever it may be. And they'll stick to kind of one height, which is all well and good. But obviously, as we were saying before, hiking does come with a range of different heights. And typically what I talk about in my training and the typical way we go about things is in our actual training sessions when we're looking at strength development, there's typically two types of heights that we kind of will use. One will be something that's, usually about between 3/4 up our shin and up to our knee, something like that. And that's our typical, medium box step up. So we might do lots of step-ups of that. We might wear a pack, do extended periods or whatever it may be. And that's one height, and most people are pretty familiar with that. And then occasionally we'll do things that are with a lower box. So something that's only halfway up your shin, but load that up quite heavy and add an extra loaded pack, add heavy dumbbells, barbell, whatever it may be. And they're the things that I typically talk about mainly in the training and in our structured training. But saying that, there's value in exploring other heights as well. And finding some, getting the body used to, tackling all these different situations. But, there's only so much you can really fit into a structured training. And it can get a little bit tricky fitting all this stuff in and trying to think of all these different variations and variables and all these different bits and pieces. So to save any confusion of how am I going to factor this into my workouts? How am I going to figure all this out? I want to give you a really simple way of doing this. And something any hiker can do. Just takes a little bit of organizing, a little bit of foresight. But any hiker can do this. It's not going to mess up your other workouts. You can attach this to pretty much anything else you're doing, and it can be very effective. So essentially, how you go about this is all you're going to do is at the end of your current workouts, whether it's your strength workouts or your cycling workouts or whatever you're doing, at the end of maybe 1 to 2 of these workouts in a week, you're just going to add an extra 4 to 6 minutes at the end. And what you're going to be doing is this 4 to 6 minutes of just straight step-ups. So stepping up, stepping down at a moderate pace and just doing this consistently for this time. But essentially what you're going to be doing is each time you do this, and this little finisher, I want you to use a slightly different box height. So 1 week might be something at shin height. 1 week might be something up at your knee. 1 week might be really super high and at the very limit of what you comfortably can get up. And then maybe you might do a few in between. And you can sort of find different boxes. You can add sort of, plates to change the height, or you could do whatever you may need to do. And then each time you do a workout and have this little finisher, you simply rotate between one of these. And you might find 3 or 4 heights that are accessible to you, and you literally just rotate through that. Dead simple. That'll get exposure to these different heights. That'll get you comfortable in these different situations. And it will actually pay off quite well onto the trail. And obviously in our training, it's not like we're going to be able to get exposure to all the different variations and angles and situations on the trail, because that's where our hiking really does come in to get that uneven and unpredictable exposure. But this can be a nice stopgap to fill that gap between doing the really structured stuff of your strength work to sort of getting you a bit more exposure to some more different heights. Really simple, but can be very effective. Now, only really 2 things to note on this front. For the extra high ones, and you'll know when you've done a high step up, which is quite a bit higher than you're comfortable with, you'll need to kind of take it easy. you'll need to drop your pace. You'll need to sort of take your time on the way down, and you'll just need to make sure you are comfortable. Because it is valuable to get exposure to these types of things, but take it easy. Don't push yourself, don't fall over, don't get yourself in a really dodgy situation. Take it easy on the really high ones. And then on the extra low ones, if you aren't doing those, you probably do want to load it up a little bit more. So hold a couple of dumbbells, put a pack on your back, a weights vest or whatever it may be, and make sure there's a bit of extra load going through that. And that can go a long way. But if you sort of take this idea of 4 to 6 minutes or however long you want to do really, attach it to the end of your strength workouts or other workouts and vary the height as you go. It can be a really, really simple way of just getting this extra stimulus, getting used to these different situations, and just adding a bit of extra spice even to your workouts and giving you a nice finisher to finish things off. So definitely something worth having a think about. Now, if you were interested in getting some ideas around this, if you want some demonstrations of different box heights or different ways you can do step-ups or whatever it may be, what I would love to do is if you could come and find me in the Training for Hiking and Trekking Facebook group. Now, inside that group, as I always say, more than happy to share video demonstrations around anything we talked about, more than happy to share extra ideas, expand on these topics or whatever it may be, and I would love to see you in there. So if you want to find it, it's the Training for Hiking and Trekking Facebook group. You can find a link for that in the show notes below, which I'll leave there. And yeah, would love to see you there. So hopefully this episode's given you a few ideas around this type of training, maybe something extra to give a go in your workouts, and hopefully over time, it will make a bit of a difference to your adventures. So I think that's probably enough from me on this subject. I really do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I hope you got a bit out of it, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.